There are moments in life when something hits you so deep, it bypasses logic and speaks directly to your soul. If you're hearing this message right now, it's not by accident. This isn't just another video. This isn't random. This is divine timing. Because God just said something, for the first time, that is meant specifically for you. Not for the crowd. Not for the general public. You. The one who's been struggling silently. The one who's been faithful despite setbacks. The one who's felt unseen, unheard, and forgotten. You've been asking for answers, for confirmation, for a sign that your prayers are not in vain. Well, this is that moment, and what you're about to hear might just change the way you see everything. You were never behind. You were being prepared. Let that sink in. For years, you may have looked at others racing ahead, financially, emotionally, spiritually, and felt like you were being left behind. You wondered if God had skipped you, forgotten you, ignored your efforts. But He's saying to you now you were never behind. Every delay was a setup for deeper preparation. Every detour was necessary to equip you for where He's taking you. The pain wasn't punishment, it was process. The waiting season wasn't wasted. In fact, it was sacred. And while others rushed ahead, your foundation was being built to last. You were being prepared to carry something greater, something that can't be shaken. Stop mourning doors I closed. I'm opening better ones. It hurts when something ends, a relationship, a job, a dream. You might have begged God to keep it. You asked Him to fix it. But now, you're being told something crucial. That door had to close to protect you. Not because you didn't deserve it, but because you deserved better. God isn't in the business of stripping you for no reason. He removes what's misaligned even if you love it. He's saying, stop looking at what I shut down. Turn around, because the door I'm opening now leads to healing, alignment, and elevation you never thought possible. And it's already swinging open. You just need to walk toward it. You're not being attacked. You're being noticed. The spiritual warfare, the unexpected chaos, the relentless pressure, it all felt like you were being attacked from every side. But God just revealed something that reframes the entire situation. You weren't being punished. You were being noticed. Hell doesn't attack what isn't a threat. Darkness doesn't try to dim a light that isn't shining. The pressure came because your presence activated something in the atmosphere. You carry weight in the spirit. You carry divine authority. And that made you a target. But it also confirms who you are. You didn't go through that because you were weak. You went through it because you're dangerous to darkness. You've cried enough. I'm sending joy that lasts. Some of you have cried in silence, pillow-soaking tears, smiles in public but breakdowns in private, and you've wondered, will this heaviness ever lift? Here's what God is saying, you've cried enough. Now I'm sending joy, real lasting joy, not temporary distraction, not fake positivity, but a joy that doesn't shake when circumstances shift, a joy rooted in peace, in purpose, in presence. He's replacing mourning with dancing, ashes with beauty. You won't always feel broken. That season is shifting right now, not next year, not 5 years from now. Now, you weren't overlooked. Heaven's been watching the whole time. There were moments where you felt invisible, like your efforts, your love, your faithfulness, none of it was seen. But God says, I've been watching every single moment. Every time you chose kindness over revenge. Every time you forgave when it hurt. Every time you sowed in silence, loved without applause, obeyed without evidence. It was seen. And not just seen, but recorded. Heaven doesn't forget what man ignores. Your name has been whispered in divine conversations. You are known in the spiritual realm. And because of that, the reward that's coming isn't random. It's recognition. You've been faithful in little. Now comes the much. Let's pause right here. Because maybe no one told you this before. You don't need to earn divine love. You already have it. And if you're feeling this resonate deep within your chest, that's not a coincidence. That's God confirming this is for you. You're stepping into a season of divine reversal. The enemy thought he had the final word, that illness, that heartbreak, that betrayal. It was meant to crush you, but God is declaring, I'm reversing it. The very thing that tried to destroy you will now build you. The tears you cried are now watering seeds of harvest. The people who left you will watch God elevate you. This is a divine reversal, where losses become leverage and setbacks become stages. You are not just surviving this, you are rising from it. And when you rise, you'll realize it was all part of the story. You're not unqualified. I qualified you in secret. So many of us disqualify ourselves before we even start. We think we're too broken, too untrained, too late. But God is saying, I qualified you when no one else saw you. Your wilderness wasn't a waste. It was training ground. Every quiet moment, every hidden struggle, every unseen act of obedience, it built something inside you. And now, What's been happening in private is about to go public, not to boost your ego, but to fulfill your purpose. You were never unqualified. You were overlooked by people, but appointed by God. I'm healing the parts of you you never knew were broken. Sometimes, we carry wounds so deep, we don't even recognize them. They manifest in self-sabotage, fear avoidance. But God is saying, I'm going deeper than your surface prayers. I'm healing trauma that started in childhood. I'm restoring an identity that was stolen by shame. I'm pulling out lies you've believed for years and replacing them with truth. This isn't cosmetic healing, it's cellular, soul deep. The kind of healing that doesn't just change how you feel, but who you are. You've lived with these hidden cracks long enough. Now, restoration is here. You don't need the crowd, you've got the covenant. In a world obsessed with popularity, numbers, likes, and applause, you might feel like you're doing everything right, but still going unnoticed. But God wants to remind you, you don't need the crowd when you're in covenant. David wasn't crowned in the spotlight, he was anointed in the field. The crowd didn't pick him, God did. And that same pattern is true for you. Your worth isn't defined by public validation. It's defined by divine relationship. And covenant comes with protection, provision, and promises that don't expire. The crowd may be fickle, but God, He's eternal. Your voice carries a breakthrough. Don't stay silent anymore. You've been quiet for too long, maybe out of fear, maybe out of pain, maybe out of not wanting to rock the boat. But God is saying it's time to speak. Your voice is not just sound, it's weaponry. When you speak, chains break. When you declare truth, strongholds shake. The enemy worked overtime to mute you because he knew how dangerous your voice would be. But that silence ends now. God is putting fire on your tongue, courage in your chest, and clarity in your spirit. You were never meant to blend in. You were born to break through. The next chapter will not look like the last one. Don't judge your future by your past. The enemy wants you to expect more of the same, more pain, more disappointment, more scarcity. But God is saying, the page is turning, the script is shifting. This next chapter will be marked by peace, favor, and divine acceleration. It won't look like the last one, because you're not the same person anymore. What once broke you will now bounce off of you. What once felt impossible will now feel inevitable. The dry season is over, the drought is done, rain is coming, and with it, fruit, abundance, wholeness. You are not alone. Heaven is backing you. In the hardest moments, it's easy to believe you're walking this path by yourself. But God just said something that shatters that lie. You are never alone. Angels are assigned to you. Heaven is backing you. The path may look narrow, but it's not empty. Every step you take in faith activates divine support. The enemy has plans, but heaven has strategies. And the power that raised Jesus from the grave is the same power flowing through you. You're not moving forward on your own. You're moving with divine momentum. I placed the fire in you for a reason. Now let it burn. That inner fire you've carried, the drive, the passion, the relentless push to rise even when you're tired, that didn't come from nowhere. God says, I put that fire in you. It's divine, not accidental. That intensity, that refusal to settle, that knowing deep inside that you were made for more, it was never ego, it was calling. And now, God is saying, let it burn. Stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. Stop shrinking because they don't understand your purpose. The world needs what you carry, and that fire, it wasn't meant to stay hidden. It was meant to ignite change, to blaze trails, to awaken others. So let it burn, chosen one. Let it consume your fear, your doubt, your hesitation. Because when your fire is unleashed, transformation follows. You weren't made to blend in, you were made to light the way. Final message from God. I never stopped choosing you. You may have walked away at times. You may have doubted, cursed the sky, wrestled with your faith. But God never stopped choosing you. He didn't disqualify you when you made mistakes. He didn't forget you when you wandered. He didn't revoke your calling when you fell. In fact, every time you turned your face toward Him, even in frustration, it was proof that the connection never broke. And now, in this moment, He wants you to know you're still chosen, still loved, still part of the plan. This is your confirmation. This is your word. And it's not just to make you feel better. It's to remind you who you are, because what's coming next requires you to walk in that identity. If this message stirred something in your spirit, don't ignore it. This wasn't just a video. This was an encounter, a divine moment where God whispered something He's been waiting for you to hear. You're not crazy. You're not making it up. This was for you. And you're not leaving this video the same way you came. So take a deep breath, lift your head, and prepare, because your next chapter is about to unfold. and it's going to be nothing like the last one. And if you're ready to walk in full alignment with the calling over your life, make sure to watch the next video. It holds the key to unlocking what's already inside you. Your time has come. Your name has been called. Now go walk like the chosen one you truly are.